Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we are going to see the lecture number 1, rigid payments. So here we are going to deal basically on the design part of the rigid payments. So prior to that, let us see the basic concepts and analysis of stresses in a rigid payment. So we call this Westergaard analysis. So Westergaard is what he considered the pioneer in providing the rational approach to the analysis of the stresses in the rigid payment. The Westergaard, in his theoretical analysis, what considers the rigid slab or rigid payment slab to be a thin elastic plate, what resulting on a soil subgrade, which he assumed as a dense liquid. Thus, he assumed that the subgrade provides an upward reaction P, which is directly proportional to the deflections. So, what he thought? Okay, where this we called as a constant. Okay, here that K, what the constant is defined as the modulus of subgrade reactions. Okay, and this equation for the determining the stresses in the rigid payment were expressed by the Westergaard using the properties such as modulus of subgrade reactions, radius of relative stiffness, equivalent radius of resistance section, and three critical positions of the wheel load, like namely interior, edge, and the corner loading were also considered here. So we know the modulus of subgrade reaction is given by the formula K is nothing but P divided by delta, that is nothing but P divided by 0.125 kg per centimeter cube. So where the delta is nothing but the displacements, the displacement level delta is taken as 0.125 centimeter of for determining the K, as we seen in the last semester, like in 6th semester IV engineering, that P is nothing but pressure sustained in kg per centimeter square by the rigid plate of the diameter like 75 centimeter as a Staddon plate. We got this formula. The next concept comes here is the radius of relative stiffness. Here a certain degree of resistance to the slab like deflection is offered by the subgrade. Obviously, the tendency of the slab to deflect the dependent of the reflexive strength, which depends on the what thickness or the strength of the characteristics of the pavement slab. So here, so in that sense, the relative stiffness of the slab with respect to the subgrade support is depend upon the properties of the slab and the pressure deformation characteristics of the what are the subgrade material you having as a subgrade. So Westergaard defined in the term here as the radius of relative stiffness, which is denoted as small l, and that is given by the formula L is nothing but a small l EH cube divided by 12 K 1 minus mu square raised to 1 by 4, whereas L is in radius of relative stiffness, which is expressed in a centimeter. H is nothing but the slab thickness, which is also expressed in a centimeter. E is nothing but modulus of subgrade reactions, which is expressed in kg per centimeter square, the modulus of elasticity of which cement concrete there. And mu is nothing but what Poisson's ratio of the concrete, which is taken as 0.15, and where left is K. K is nothing but subgrade of subgrade modulus or modulus of subgrade reaction, which is obviously expressed in kg per centimeter cube. Next, let us see the critical position of the loading. So, since the pavement slab has a finite length and the width, this is the length and this is the width. Okay, either the character or the intensity of the maximum stress induced by the application of the given V load is depend upon the position or the location of the load on a pavement slab. So, the three typical positions, namely like interior, edge and corner, were considered by the Westgards with reference to what? The continuity of the rigid pavement slab, and these we term it as a critical position and term it as a critical positions, critical loading position, sorry. So, when the load is applied at the interior slab, if this is considered as a slab, at the interior of the slab, the surface at any place remote from the like edges is called as any, these are the edges, okay. Removed from the edges we call it as a interior. If anything from here, here, we call it as a interior loading. And when the load is applied on the edges, okay, these are the edge, this is the edge, this is the edge, this is the edge, these are the edges. When the load is applied on the edge of the slab at any place remote from the corner, we call it as a edge loading. Clear? So, these are the what? Edge of the loading. And when the center of the load applied in located, so when the load is applied at the edges of the slab, so these are the edges, right? 1, 2, 3, these are all edges. And remote from the corner, it called as the edge loading. When the, sorry, these are the edges and these are the corners. So, when the center of the load is applied located bisector of the any of the angle found by the intersection of the angle of the slab loaded at the corner, these are the corners, sorry, okay, yeah, these are the corner, touching the two corner edges is called as a corner loading. This is corner loading, this is the edge loading and this is the interior loading, okay. So, slabs are arranged in this way when you look at the top way. In these conditions, this is the internal loading here and these are the edge loadings and these are the corner loadings, same with the all the slabs here. Hope you understand this. I will show it once again in the slab here. If you consider this as a one slab, these are the interior loading wherever it comes, and these are the edge loading and these are the corner loading. So, these are three are the critical positions when you look into the pavement slab or rigid pavement slab. Next is the equivalent radius of resting sections. Okay, this is the last one here which the Westgard considers. Considering the case of like interior loading, the maximum bending moment occurs at what? The load area and acting radially in all the directions. Yes or no? So, with the loading concentrated on the smaller area of the pavement, then the question arises the what sectional of the what area of the pavement is effective in what resisting the bending moment. So, here the what the Westgard says, the equivalent radius of resisting section is approximated in the term of what? Radius of load distribution and the slab thickness, and that is given by the formula B is equal to root of 1.6 a square plus h square minus 0.675 h. Here the B is what? Equivalent radius of resisting section in centimeter, but when what? A is less than 1.724 h. What is the A then here? A is nothing but radius of V load distribution which is given in centimeter. What is A? Radius of V load distribution, and h is nothing but obviously the slab thickness. But when A is what? Greater than 1.274 h, in those condition the B is what? Equal to A. Nothing but radius of relative section is equal to what? Radius of wheel load distributions. Okay. So, we will finish it here. Thank you for your patience hearing.